Okay, so today we're going to show you how to plant a hedge and look after it. The things that you'll need are a spade, some spirals, canes, a lump hammer, a bag of trees, a tree tube for the hedgerow tree, and a tree stake. Okay, so we've chosen a piece of land where we're going to plant our hedge. The first thing to do is to cut the grass. So we've mown a strip about 60 centimetres wide. And then the next thing we do is scrape the grass, which means taking off the top layer of grass to just show the soil underneath. When scraping, it's important not to take too much soil away. So it's not digging the soil, it's literally scraping it. So you just have a thin amount of turf. Just dig a slot like that. Pull the soil up. Then cut in the middle. Okay, now we're going to plant our first shrub. It's really important to make sure the stem is above the soil and the roots are in the ground. So it's that bit that we're going to make sure goes into the ground. Then tread it in really firmly. This is important. And just give it a little tug, make sure it stays in. Once your tree's planted, get a cane and a lump hammer, and you just want to put the cane in close to the shrub. Then you need one of these spirals. These come in nests of 5. Just want to get one of these off. You want to hook this around the bottom of the cane and the bottom of the shrub, and then just twist it around the shrub. This will protect it from any rabbits or other animals that might want to nibble it. And if you just push the bottom into the ground slightly, just to stop any little voles or anything climbing up. There, and that's done. Okay, now we're going to plant a hedgerow tree, which is a little bit different from planting the hedging shrubs. So first, you want to dig a hole. So we're digging a hole instead of the slit that we did for the hedging plant. Just put your soil next to the hole because we're going to need that afterwards. Then we'll just see if the hole's big enough. So this is the tree, it's a small leaf lime. And it's important again to make sure the roots are in the ground and the stem is out. So just try that in the hole. That looks just about right. So place your tree in the hole and put the soil back in. So all the roots are covered. And now tread it in like you did for the hedging plants. Nice and firm. And now you need your tree stake. So you want to get that in good and firm. This is the tube that we're going to use. There is a top and a bottom to these. So the top is slightly fluted whereas the bottom is straight and a bit sharper. This is so that when the tree comes out of the tube, the trunk doesn't rub against the edge and cut the bark. So once your stake is in, feed your tree through, and then the other cable tie over the top. This one is still a little high. Let's put this one in a little bit more. You want to just check down the tube just to make sure your tree hasn't got caught behind the cable ties. Then once it's okay, turn the ties up. If you need to undo it for any reason, you can just press the little catch. So they are adjustable. So just tighten both of them really tight. That's planted. Okay, now that we've planted our hedge, we're going to mulch it. We're going to mulch it with wood chip, which will help to keep the grass down and any weeds, and it'll also keep the trees moist and stop water evaporating, keep the moisture into the soil. We want to put a nice deep layer around all of the trees, as deep as possible. So now you just have to wait a few years, maybe about 10 years, till it becomes a hedge like this one. But there are a few steps that you can do to help it be as good as this one. And we'll go and have a look at those. So this hedge here was planted 18 months ago, and as you can see, grass and a few weeds have grown and kind of invaded a little bit. So it could do with a little bit of weeding and maintenance. But if you look closely in here, it's not too bad because it was screefed and really mulched when it was planted. But it's worth just taking back some of the grass where it's gone up into the tube, pull the spiral up slightly and pull out any grass. And this is what it looks like once it's been cleared. The trees and bushes are all doing really well. What is worth doing is during the winter when all the leaves have dropped off, is just to take them back, just chop the top off, and that will help them to bush out.